Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Thursday Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap. My name is Doug McKay, and I am the founder of Quantum Leap. It is Thursday, November the 5th. This room is a trade room. We do live analysis and trading throughout the day. We also do these pre-market sessions where we go through the structure of the market, look at the macro to the micro, and then determine where our trade levels are for the day, what our targets are, and what our hypotheses are. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in here are not for education purposes, or are for education purposes. Please trade your own plan and your own due diligence. Sorry, I'm a little bit giddy this morning. If you're interested in checking us out, coming in for a free trial, please send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com or send me a contact request at Doug_McKay. There is no website. This is not a commercial venture. If you want to see past performance and gauge it against the market, certainly take a look at any of our pre-market sessions. There's probably about over a couple hundred of them, I'm sure, on YouTube. Just do a search for Quantum Leap Futures. And if you like what I do, please follow me on Twitter at Crazy2, K-R-A-Z-Y-T-O-O. Okay, so let's take a look at yesterday, what our main hypothesis was. Yesterday, our main hypothesis was that this key line in the sand, 2090-50, had to hold. We were looking for a rotational day with an upside bias with possible extension to the upside and failure, and then a move down to test these lower levels. They really never, right off the open, they rejected moving up higher. The seller stepped in, took us down through to our first level, which was at 2105.75, and below that we went in and hit the naked VPOC and the naked close, moved through, came right down to the value area low from yesterday. Buyers stepped in, tried to get us back up above the VWAP, tried to break above that 2105 level, the opening swing low, and then sellers stepped in and took us down into the lower double distribution down here, and we basically just chopped around all day in that lower distribution, but we held the 2090-50. Last night in the Globex, they held that 2090-50. They went down to 2091.50, and then they rallied all the way back up to 2104, just 2104.75, just below this key area again at 2105. So we've so far held this 2090-50. If we do not hold this 2090-50, then I think we're going to see a significant move down. Right now, they're setting it up for a possibility of that extension to the upside. But we'll get into that. Just taking a look at the news, unemployment missed, but it really didn't do anything. We had 263 expected, 260 prior, up 16K from prior. And we did, we're still trading within a point range of where the news came out. So very muted news. I think it's baked into the price already. We've got Dudley speaking right now. Dudley's a dove. Lockhart's a hawk. They're both going to be speaking. Tarullo, I forget if he's a dove or a hawk, or he or she. But we've got a fair amount of FOMC members speaking today. Non-farm beat and prelim came in, not bad. So really mixed bag of news. We've got Fisher speaking as well at 9:10 in about 20 minutes. And then 10 o'clock, we've got the Canadian PMI coming out, 10:30 natural gas. So not a whole lot of news today, but we got a lot of FOMCs that are going to be speaking today. You never know what's going to set off the market with them. Let's start with the basics. I always like to start with my macro to micro view in terms of trend. You can see I use a basic candlestick chart with a 9 EMA, 20 SMA. We've got good and slope. I start with the monthly and work my way down. We've got good slope and separation. Beautiful trend for the last couple of years. Then the last 2 months, it looked like we were going to roll over. Last month, they popped right back up. October, very bullish month last month. And now we're getting slope and separation. Not as much separation, but it looks like this trend could continue to the upside on the monthly. On the weekly, we had that downward trend going through September, and then October we took it back, and now we're above the 9 and the 20, coming up to test these highs back in the 2100s. We are creating a naked cross down here at 2029. Not a big deal right now as it is on the weekly, but we are looking to start and continue a trend up on the daily. On the weekly. On the daily, much different picture, very strong trend, great slope and separation, prices paralleling. This market is not showing signs of rolling over yet in terms of its pricing. There's a lot of bubble bogeys that Marvin has spoken about, but Becky has noted that there's a lot of protection being taken out, so there's fear in the market, but price is not reacting. We don't even attempt to even challenge the upward trend on the daily till we get down to the 2082.50, and we don't even come close to violating it until we get down below the 2050. So great slope and separation. We do have a naked cross down here on the daily at that 1938. Again, it's on the daily, so put the time frame in context. Going to the intraday to see where we are in terms of the intraday trend coming into this market. We're just basically stair-stepping up right now. They came back again yesterday, moved down, tested the 20 SMA from above, held the SMA all night, moved up, and now we're above the 9 and the 20, and the trend is holding, but it is a little bit weaker right here. Going to the 1 hour, we had that downward trend yesterday and overnight, and then they came out, closed back above the 9 and the 20, and now we're starting to move back up. We got a little bit of a technical gap here, move down to close that gap, take us down to the 2098. What's interesting is this area here in the 2096 area. We've got multiple naked crosses on multiple time frames down in the 2095, 2096. So if we get below the 2000, the 2100 level, I should say, that 2096 level is going to be a major target. I'm actually using 2097, and I'll show you why in a minute when we get to the composite chart. Going down to the 30-minute, we had a technical gap. We closed the technical gap, testing the 9 from above, but the trend is still showing up coming into the RTH session. 15-minute, we have closed that tech gap on the 9, haven't closed it on the 20. We are below the 9, so look for a possible move down to test this 2099, 2100 level here on the 15-minute. So we're seeing some weakness coming in on the 15-minute. And then finally, going down to the 5-minute, you can see that we've started a trend down. We've got slope and separation, prices paralleling the 9. So as we move down, we're seeing some weakness coming into this market. There is a naked cross down here. There it is again at 2095. These naked crosses have a tendency to get taken out and tested. So let's take a look at the big picture. Of course, we've got this 5-day balance with a double distribution. The upper distribution is up here at 97.25. The 3-day microcomposite VPOC is at this 2097. It's just above that 96 and 95 area. So I'd be really watching this 2099.50, 2100 area. And if we get below there, I'd get short into this 96, 95, and 94.75 area. The three-day value area low is down here at 91, and just below it, okay, is the LVN, the microcomposite LVN of the double distribution for the last 5 days. Why is that important? It's our key line in the sand. 2090 50 is what I'm using, and if we get below there, then you can see we've got these 2 days. We've got the low here at 2090 50. We got the low here at 2090 50. We've created a weak low. If we get below this key line in the sand, the destination is down here between 2080 50 and 2078 50, with the first one being 2087 75 and the second one being 2084 and a quarter. Remember, 2084 and a quarter was our composite most traded price going back to 2000, beginning of 2013. When we moved down here, it shifted to the 78.50. If we come back down here, pay very close attention to the composite. If you see that they come in with volume when we come back down here, and this VPOC shifts back up here, then look to take that long back up into the 2100 area again. If we don't, then they're likely to come all the way down into the 2080 50, but I'm really looking at this 78.50, which is currently our most traded price going back to 2013. 2074 and a quarter is a naked close and also a significant CLVN. If we get below here, then I'm looking for a bigger move down into the 2066, 2065 area, where we accepted value after the breakout of this basic value area high, and then the breakout and where we accepted value as we moved up and then gapped up into this area up here. So let's take a look at the overnight. Overnight, very toothy profile overnight. No real definitive price there. The current VPOC, which could shift depending on how much we move in the next 30 minutes, but I'll put it in here, is at 2101 and a quarter. Just currently above where we're trading. We're currently trading right at the value area high from yesterday. That is going to be a main trade area for us today. And then I would even move it down to the 99.50 area. Simply because that's the midpoint, and there's some more definitive CLVN at 99.50. Our overnight high is 2104.75. Our overnight low is down at 91.50. Just below just above the range low from the last 2 days, and our key line in the sand. And then there's an LVN and the VWAP and the midpoint right here at 2098, which is also where our value area low is. So you know what? I'm going to move this back up, because I think you can use the 2100. If you're going to get short, you need to get in and get funded before we get to this 98. Because they're likely and could possibly bounce off of this area. But if we don't find responsive buyers down here, look for the continuation down into the naked VPOC and the naked close down at 94.75. There's that 94.75 that keeps popping up day after day. All right. Nothing really other than that sticks out because of the toothiness. In terms of the 20-day ATR targets, our 20-day average true range is 22.51. That puts our upside ATR target to 21.14, and our ATR target to the downside is moved up to 2082 and a quarter, just above that 2080.50, and not too far off of that 78. But remember that 2080.50 is the most traded price in the last 5 days. So if we do get below the key line in the sand and we come down and break through this 84.25. You can use the 82.25, but we'll probably get extension, and I'd be looking for extension to 80.50 and possibly down to 78. Below the 74.25, this is going to be my second line in the sand. Because if we don't hold, I don't know why I always miss taking that T out. Because if we don't get support coming in here, then I think we're going to get the bigger move down to 66, and we could turn this into a trend day. Levels below all remain the same. You got 66, 64, 75, support 60, 50, break 55 target. Remember, 55 is our year open, and then below 51.25, you got 48, and then the next big area down below is in that 45, 44 area. And then below that, you got 41.50, and then the 50% of the significant breakout candle, which is this candle right here that we have not come back and auctioned off. You can see how blunt it is down here. So if we get below, I'm going to move that 51 down. It is 51 is the range low, but I'm going to move this down to 49.75, because below 49.75, this is going to be a nice trade into the 37, 36 area and this blunt area, and I think we'll come and chop around in that area. So let me move that 51 down. I'm going to get rid of this 48 and move this down to 49.25, and then we'll put a target at the 51.25. All right, so that takes care of the downside. In terms of the upside, well, actually, it doesn't take care of the downside. You know, below the 94, I've got another trade area. I'll be using the value area low here at the 92, and you can see that this 92.75 area. Look at between 92.75 and 93.50. You know, the buyers really were stepping in to try to defend that area. So I think if they break that area today, you got a pretty nice short into the overnight low at 91.50, but more specifically down to test that range low and that week low that we created in the last 2 days. I don't think it's going to hold this time if we come down there. But, you know, so inside of value, I'm looking for a move down through 80% value area destination trade down to 92.75. And if it doesn't hold, then a move to break the 90.50. I do not think that this 90.50 will hold. You can almost even make an argument that 92.75 becomes more important than the 90.50, but we might just dip in here, take out the overnight low, and bounce back up. But if we come down and start banging on this 90.50, I don't think that there's enough inventory to hold us up, and we'll likely have to come down into these other areas. Remember, we've got a target here as well at 86.75, and then 84.25 in our ATR targets. Above the 2100, pretty simple. Up above us, we've got the 2101.75. You can shift it up to 02, and then we've got the 2103. Sorry, I just want to move this so you can see what I'm talking about. The 2103.50. And then, of course, the overnight high. And then I'm going to be using the 2105.50 as a trade area, because above that, I'm looking for 07. And then a test of the 08.50, anything above 08.50. I don't think the 2110 is going to hold this time. I'd be looking for a move up into that 13.50. and the test of the ATR upside target. And then 17 becomes remains our key line in the sand. It is the RTH adjusted all-time high, and then above that I'd be looking for 21 and then 26. You can use 24 and a quarter as well as a trade area. Actually, I think it was 24.50. And then all our targets remain the same to the upside. All-time high at 34, measured move at 41 and a quarter, 50 and 66 and a quarter. We're finding, we've been in this area now. We could be one more day in balance up here, but we've got a pretty tight range. Watch your ATR targets for potential breakout into a trend day up or down. It's really going to be a flip of a coin today, which way it goes. So pay attention to your value area and this key line in the sand below. Above the value area, you got to think that they're going to be looking for extension above. This is a thin area of the profile from yesterday, so they're likely to come up here and chop around in here and probably get a little bit of extension to the upside. But if we can't break above this value area, then they've got to come down to see if they can find some buyers with conviction, and we'll probably come down a little bit lower. Taking a look at the Keltner, the center Keltner line is 98 and a quarter. We're below that value area. Likely come down and test the the 24-hour VWAP and the Keltner center line that is sitting right around that 98 and a quarter, 98.50. If we bounce off of it and get back above 2100, you can see that the upper Keltner line's at that 2104.50 area, the overnight high. And then if we break below the Keltner center line, a move down to test the lower Keltner line is going to take us down into the value area low. So you can see we're basically in range for those two targets, the overnight high and the range low from overnight. Taking a look at gold, I took my first swing at the can last night in gold to the long side. I got long gold at 11.10. I did get funded. I am still running long right now. I'm trying to give it some room to work right now. This is the first area that I think they're going to defend. I'm wrong if they get back below the 05.50. If they get above the 1270, I'm going to add into this trade into first target of 14 and then the 18. I mean, same thing I've been talking about with gold. Key level right now below us is this 1160. I won't give my trade that much room. I took like 3 or 4 entries last night. I've got a bit of Theo that I'm working with. So really, if we get below the 1104 area, I'm probably done, because that's the fractal low here at 1103.80. And I think they'll have to come down lower. And I don't think if we come down to the 1100, we're going to actually hold. I think the next support is going to be in that 1191 to 1195 area. But I am swinging the bat now and hoping that we get a run up today, at least to the 1114, if not up to the 1118, and give me some breathing room and hopefully put me into a longer term. I need this market. I want the indices to roll over, because I really think once they do, we're going to get a nice run in gold, and I want to get paid as we do it. So that's going to complete our pre-market session. Here we are testing the Keltner center line and that 24-hour VWAP. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.